Good evening, everybody. This is Crazy Chris for the Sunday Night Madness podcast. Join us as we go live to discuss Bigfoot sightings, the Mandela Effect, and energy attacks on U.S. citizens. We have all kinds of crazy stuff lined up for discussion tonight, so make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and consider becoming a member of our website, geekpublicradio.com. Stick around. Good evening, Internet land. This is Crazy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do greatly appreciate it. We are Sans one member tonight as T was feeling just a tad bit underneath the weather. She got that London fog draped over her shoulders, so she will not be joining us this evening. However, usually joining me across the way, as always, actually, we have Topher, the paranormal hobo. He will be broadcasting with us tonight. He's going to be talking about some things. Probably some subject material most of you are familiar with. And then on my right, y'all's stage left, actually my stage left, I have the beautiful, the incomparable, the lovely, the ravishing, the magnificent Light. And then that light is illuminating Jeff, the producer.
What's up?
All right, man. So we're not going to waste too much time boring you guys with details, but as I said in the intro, please do consider dropping a like and a subscribe to the channel if you are watching this on YouTube. If you are joining us live, welcome to the members only section where we have extra videos, all kinds of fun stuff lined up for you. If you are not yet a member, then I would strongly advise doing so. Some of the extra cut content that we have is pretty fantastic. So that's going to be a good time for y'all. So become a member.
Actually, technically, isn't that what we do here, is bore them with details?
Yes.
And jokes?
Yes, but I can't tell them that at the beginning of the show or they won't stick around.
That's fair. Okay, gotcha.
You got to reel them in. Reel them in.
Come back.
Speaking of reeling people in, apparently Bigfoot has been throwing some person bait at people. But apparently this was back in
1977.
1977. There was a Bigfoot sighting that was local for us. So, local being that we are broadcasting from the beautiful Union Building in downtown Anderson, Indiana.
As you can see from backgrounds.
Yeah. That is not a green screen behind Topher. That is actually just a standard background. So
yeah, that literally is.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, he's broadcasting from a remote location. So we're gonna be. Hang on a second. Let me just. Chris, your mic's a little. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, it literally looks like
that's movie magic, folks.
It literally looks like we are in a completely different. Like our studio is very, very illuminated, and Topher's is just
perfectly subdued.
Yeah.
Well, no, the funny part is like I'm on the one wall that's painted black.
Yeah, well, so that actually just kind of confirms that we need to get these walls painted black. So
I see that red wall and I need to paint it black.
I mean, technically, with the light cast, it is kind of red.
I know,
so
right?
That's perfect.
Exactly.
All right, so
we need to block the windows, paint the walls.
Well, there's a lot of work we have to do, and a lot of that work costs money, folks, which is why we're so pathetically begging you to become a member of our website. Please.
Look at this face. Don't say no to this face. Everybody else does. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Oh, thank God it wasn't actually focused on him when he did that. All right.
And so, nobody joins.
1977 Bigfoot sighting in where at, Chris?
All right. So what it was in 1977, according to the newspaper.
AD, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So the things we'll be talking about tonight.
Like, it happened within the last 50 years. Which is ridiculous that it's like 50. Like you're
Can
looking.
we just move on because I don't want to talk about it?
I still think like, oh, that was like 30 years ago. No,
it was not.
But the so in 1977, according to the newspaper, a lady was driving home after dropping her husband off at work, along a stretch right next to the dump. So think like a big open area with a lot of like food waste and other stuff.
Right.
And animals and rats and
grody.
I thought we could make it 5 minutes into the show without making a poop joke, but apparently
no,
Chris
we can't.
Just had to jump over had to jump in there.
That wasn't that was actually not a poop joke. That was just a reference to it.
That's fair.
So go
So
ahead.
copies of our show. Got it. Go ahead.
Right, yeah. So when literally right by the landfill, next to a waterway, which I'm not sure why they would put a landfill right next to a creek that literally fed like water in that area, but I digress.
It's
that's
the same
that's
reason.
a topic for another show.
It's literally the same reason they put a landfill anywhere.
It's fair.
Yeah, but so
And rhymed.
she said that she was driving down there. She called the Indiana State Police. The Indiana State Police took the thing,
The report?
the report,
Okay.
along with an Alexandria police officer. That police officer actually got made fun of because, according to people that I talked to, he was, after that, got the call for all of the weird things that happened in town, automatically went to him. Like,
Oh, so like any of the spooky supernatural.
like when the marching band saw a UFO,
Wait,
Like,
when,
he went out
when
and
did
took
that
that.
happen?
That's awesome.
78.
So
Okay.
77, they got Bigfoot. 78, they have UFOs, and that he
In
gets stuck with
1950s, they also have a UFO sighting in
that.
Anderson.
So he's a paranormal investigator now, right?
Yeah, no, apparently, yeah. You know. But no, they would make fun of him and all that. And
Well, I mean, it's the 70s. I can understand it.
so, but so she made the thing. A DNR like shows up, whatever, and they literally in the article, like you have the article with the stuff, like the actual call log or whatever,
Right.
You know, the crime blotter thing. So it's talking about that, and then in the next article it's talking about how they're still investigating it, whatever. And then like the DNR says that we don't have any big animals like that in the area. We don't have any. There's no
There's no
stuff.
bears.
Right. But there is a horse that is known to get loose and walk around the area, and that they were suspecting it was the backside of a horse.
Okay.
They-
Well, in
They
fairness,
literally blamed it, saying it was probably a horse's ass.
perfect. I was just you got the joke before I did because I was right there. All right. So,
This is the beginning.
this is the intro to the story.
Yes.
Oh.
So this happened. Now, people are in this town talking back and forth about, some people believe it's happening, some people don't believe it's happening.
Sure.
I'm the skeptic, so I'm like
right,
maybe
there
she
is
was
like-
actually looking at the tail end of it because that actually kind of makes sense. It's a fluffy, the stringy hair.
Right, but it's not 8 foot tall. That would be a huge horse.
Well,
the
if it's-
backside was
Actually, it could have been a Clydesdale.
Okay, it was a moose.
yeah.
It was the only moose in Indiana.
It escaped from the
Moose.
petting zoo.
No, it escaped. It escaped from Canada. It's an illegal immigrant.
So we like I'm talking to the people like
I
reminiscing.
smell a
whatever.
sitcom, by the way.
There you go.
No, I'm
So
sorry,
I'm talking
that
to
was
everybody
me.
about this and trying to get people moving and like getting getting people to tell me the stories and whatnot. And a lot of them are just like, oh yeah, I remember that happened. That was
Right.
it. Like it was just a horse, or it was this, or it was that. It was people like, they had like casts of feet prints, like eventually, because this isn't the first time that has been rumored
It was swamp gas.
that around the landfill area,
Right.
Because there's a lake back there too that comes off of the creek, that had a cabin or whatever that was all burnt down, and like it was just the basement, whatever. It was like rubble and
I get it,
70s.
yeah.
That they said something was big was living out there, and then they have these big footprints that they had casts of and whatnot, which I would like to get my hands on. I'd like to see those.
Yeah.
By the way,
at
if
least
you're in the
it
area,
does actually go a good long way to have physical evidence.
right? If you're in the area, it would be really cool if you're like, oh yeah, no, I got those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for any of you guys out there who actually have those casts, send them our way.
Please do, or at least pictures.
Check them out. Hell, we'll put them on the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll put them in our new
We'll put
museum.
you on the show. Let's go.
Did
them
you
on our
just?
museum.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was a lot of things happening all at once. My brain can't handle that. Did we just say that whoever has casts, we're going to put them in a museum?
Yes.
The people Or
Yes.
The cast.
No, the people. No, they have to stand there with the cast.
And stand there and hold it like
Hold it. We
Vanna
can't afford
White.
mannequins.
Hey,
like Vanna White this shit.
In all fairness, we're not taking the casts away from you.
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah. You just
We're
have to
just
stay-
taking your freedom.
just have to- well, no, because you get 3 hots and a cot. But only when we say.
So it's prison.
I don't like the term prison, but yeah, it's a little harsh.
All right.
Anyway,
So-
anyways.
please, sorry.
So when we were talking about this stuff, like people were, like I said, were coming up and saying, "Oh, it was just this or it was just that," and a lot of people were other was talking like, "Oh, I remember that. I didn't, wasn't living on that side of town." It was like, "Do you know anybody that did?" Like, "Oh yeah, my grandfather would take a gun with him to the when he was outside, because they lived on that side of town that was." Literally big stretches of open country, and then you had the landfill.
Right.
And they were like, he wouldn't go out without a gun. He wouldn't go out to the landfill without a gun, without having the rifle in the vehicle.
So you keep saying, I know what it is. I know where it's at, as you say,
Yeah.
like the landfill, because I remember where geographically it is in Alexandria. But all I'm picturing is the heap of trash in the trash compactor from Star Wars. So, when you keep saying landfill and then the creek, I keep picturing the
I keep calling it a
Dianoga.
crick too.
You
That's
do.
what-
You really do.
You absolutely
It's-
do.
I wasn't
You're
going to correct
spelling
you.
it CRIK or CK.
Crick.
It's CREE.
But anyways, yeah, it's a funny
kicked
kind
my
of
camera.
anecdotal,
Yeah.
little Dianoga. So, go ahead.
But yeah, the
Go ahead.
there was so when I found out that this little neighborhood of Innisdale, like whoever lived on the edge of it, like would have these stories of not doing things without having firearms with them.
Right. Something was making them afraid.
I found another person whose family member lived there, and they remember being like talking to, and that family member saying, "Yeah, no, I would walk out. There's a big empty field across from me that goes right to the woods,
Right.
and some big hairy thing was in my trash can, eating stuff as I looked out the kitchen window."
That's
And by the time that I got out the door with my gun, it was already across the street and down into the thing, heading full steam towards the woods.
crazy.
Can I ask a question? I'm sorry. I got to thinking about this. I used to have jobs where I got really, really bored, so I looked up a lot of different things, and Bigfoot sightings were one of them.
Right.
I don't recall, and maybe you could illuminate. Have there been any Bigfoot attacks?
Bigfoot attacks?
Yeah, has anybody ever said, "Oh well, my buddy John got beat up by a Bigfoot," or whatever?
In Indiana or in general?
In general.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
there's rumored supposed Bigfoot attacks.
And I don't necessarily need any details. I was just curious.
Yes, there have been reported attacks, whether they're true or not, up for debate. I mean, Bigfoot itself up for debate, but yeah, there have been rumored attacks.
Well, with you saying that, people going out with their guns and everything like that, I was just like, I've always, other than the Jack Leaks beef jerky commercials, I
right.
I just always assumed that Bigfoot was like this gentle fuzzball.
Unless you mess with him, unless you tease him,
right?
with
Jack Link's beef jerky. Right.
Well, no, like in those commercials where they throw
Looking
giant,
for a sponsor.
when you have like the giant rocks come like flying in, or he goes, "Oh!" gets angry, and starts throwing stuff.
Yeah.
That literally has happened many, many, many times.
Yeah, a lot of
where-
those commercials were actually based off the Bigfoot rumors.
Oh,
Yeah, where
okay.
like people would be hit in the head or other parts with giant rocks that were just thrown from nowhere out in the middle of the woods.
Yep.
Oh.
Now, me personally, if I'm Bigfoot, okay, and I'm of course attributing human quality to Bigfoot, but at the same time, if I'm Bigfoot and I go and I'm rummaging through your trash can to look for a meal, and all I hear is a shotgun cocking every single time I do it, I'd be a little paranoid too. I wouldn't come around people.
I mean, yeah, a noise that you don't know
Right. Well, or you do know. Maybe
or
you
maybe
do know
you
what the
do.
noise
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Maybe you do.
My cat knows what the cocking of a weapon sounds like, so
No,
every
it
time
doesn't
it
know-
happens, she darts off and runs away.
She doesn't know what the cocking of a weapon sounds like. What she knows is that's a weird noise. Leave.
No, when a round goes through the bed,
Never happened. That is hyperbole. That is slander. Technically, if you put this in print, it will be libel, so don't do that.
And the fact is that no one ever
transcript the show now.
mentioned anyone doing that.
No, not at all. Never happened.
Somebody seems like they feel, or it seems like somebody feels guilty about
Is it
something.
hot in here? I feel like I'm under the lights.
Anyhow,
So, go ahead, Chris.
Please. Sorry for the the derailment.
So, I started finding these stories, right, about people like in the area. I made the mention to my own mother, who she was in the house that they had purchased that I grew up in.
Right.
Years and years and years before, like she actually rented one of the apartments that were upstairs in the house.
Right.
That was the first one, like her and my dad, like the first apartment they moved into. Which I thought it was cool that they actually bought the house, or she bought the house that,
Is that the one that you were living in when I first met you?
probably.
I think so.
That's the one you were conceived in.
No, that was somewhere else. But,
Okay.
But no,
This is a family show.
but she was telling, I said, well, I'm hearing all these stories and this, that, and the other. She goes, yeah, I remember when that happened. She goes, I was actually in the upstairs apartment that, next to the one that you were renting, from us.
That's
and I was
crazy.
Like, okay. I was like, that's cool. I said, she goes, no, like one night I got home from work and was doing stuff, whatever. And I heard something like scratching or whatever at the window. And the next day, there was a handprint 4 times as big as my hand on the upper side of the outside window.
Wow.
Like something had reached up 2.5 stories because it sits up above. Like there's the basement sticks up a little bit. So like up that high and on the top glass. And these are like 70s windows, so they don't fold in and you clean it or whatever. Like you would have to literally climb outside.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I wish I would have taken a picture, but the cameras back then wouldn't have really done anything.
Well, he would have had to hold still for like 35 minutes.
No, of the handprint, dingus.
But she said it was a big,
I know.
greasy handprint. It was just like 4 times bigger than
That's
her
rude.
hand.
Called him greasy.
Dude, he probably doesn't have a bath.
That's
Or
fair.
toilet paper.
But
or
he does
scrubbing
dig, and he
bubbles.
does dig through trash apparently. So
Yeah. But so
That's
like,
crazy.
She's like, that was her experience. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'll put that in with the files of stuff.
See,
that, my own family members had experiences with it. She goes, I didn't know what it was. Like we knew like there was a Bigfoot story and people were calling it this other name or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I find out that it was a couple, like they were kids at the time, that were telling stories, and a guy from Tennessee or whatever brought a name with him from Tennessee called the Whistling Jack, and that's what he started calling the Bigfoot that people were seeing, or the creature that people were seeing. So you
called
got
the
stuck.
Whistling Jack.
He got stuck being called the Whistling Jack.
The whistling jack because it would whistle. It makes a noise, at least a noise like it's whistling.
Well, I have no idea.
So
No, that's actually if you
we
look
were
it
to
up, that's
Google
what it
search
is.
this, we should probably look up Whistling Jack, Alexandria, Indiana.
Yeah, you
Is
will
that
actually
Bigfoot?
come across a website called paranormalfiles.org.
Nice.
All right. I'll have to
And
check that out.
my article is up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shameless self-promotion. Oh my God, you almost had
This
us.
entire thing, that's what that was all about.
But no, it's not really talked about a whole lot because the town likes to shut things down that isn't.
most,
yeah.
Because it's-
most small towns do.
Well, it
Well,
was known
think about
as
the Aladdin building.
right.
Like, let's not even get into that.
It
the
was
Aladdin building.
Well, we
There'll
need
be
to
a
talk
whole
about
nother
yeah,
show.
different
That'll
show.
be a
That's
whole
a
nother
full
show.
show.
Cool.
That's a full hour. We
right.
could talk about that.
No, I'm sorry. My mind went a completely different way when you said something about your mom. Because I honestly thought you were going to tell me that, or tell us that when you talked to your mom about it, she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. I was the one that saw it and called the police. I was the crazy lady in the car."
So to wind this into what we do now, like modern day,
Yeah, sure.
To wind it into Topher the Paranormal Hobo.
right? All this stuff has kind of been going on. People have been saying that there's stuff. There was a lady that broached the comment, and this is why not a lot of people like get involved or make these claims anymore.
Right.
She said that there was a dog-like thing that was 6 to 8 feet tall,
It was a Wookiee.
standing outside of the manor, like in the woods behind the manor, that ran her kids off
In
Alexandria.
Okay.
That they come running in saying that they saw it, yada yada yada, and they were scared. Her and a couple other people went out and seen it as it took off, and all of this stuff. And she was like asking questions. A couple people had like confirmed that there's stories about a dog-like thing in that side of town, which is exact opposite side of town, but the town's only a mile and a half wide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's a small town.
Yeah.
So, 5,000 people, literally. I mean, it's not very big.
Yeah.
So you get this, and then she's made fun of, picked
yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah,
like to the
absolutely.
point where when we finally come across the thing and was like, "Hey,
She
we
doesn't
would
wanna
like to
talk
talk," she's
about
like,
it.
"I don't want to talk about it."
Yeah.
Like
And
it was
that's-
dumb, and like she actually deleted all of her stuff and all this thing, and it's just like sad.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Because how many people actually have had these experiences too
That don't want to talk about it.
that don't want to talk about it?
Which is, and it's a shame too, because there are many different places, and you took a Bigfoot tour, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. See, there are places that actually have literally turned it into a tourist attraction. Hey, we've had 37 sightings of Bigfoot here on this spot alone. So,
Right, and that's what I was joking about with. I was talking to the Flatwoods Monster Museum guy when I was
and
up there.
that's a Bigfoot.
No.
No, that's like an alien.
Yeah, the Flatwoods Monster's an alien.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or like the Jersey Devil kind of thing,
No,
which
alien.
is a demon.
kind of, yeah,
supposedly.
something.
No. I'm saying it's different than a Bigfoot, like the Jersey Devil.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes,
yeah, different
yes. My
references. No,
mistake.
no, I'm
Yeah.
tracking. Go ahead.
No, they're cryptid. Different.
Yeah, there you go. Cryptids. That's perfect. Jeff's like, what?
No, Jeff's not like, what?
Quit
'Cause,
using words.
Again, I listen to creepy pastas. I know what cryptids are.
So the,
I don't study anything, but I listen.
Fair enough.
But the so here we are with like this happens modern day. 2 weeks before that thing hit the paper, or not paper, but hit the community board on Facebook.
The black Flatwoods Monster.
No, the thing behind the manor, the dog.
Oh, the Bigfoot.
The
dog
thing.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Dog boy. Gotcha.
I am driving I went and dropped my son off at work in Elwood, and I'm driving past the same exact area. The same exact area that the original sighting that got called into the police happened. And there's a bridge, and standing on it was something, or standing off to the edge, like behind it, where he's like sticking up out from beside the bridge.
Yeah.
Is this big hairy thing,
Okay.
and I'm like, I literally I drive past and look at it, I stop, throw the Tahoe in reverse, back up, past it, look at it, blink a couple times, and then reach for my phone, not to take a picture because I'm not even thinking picture at this time.
Sure.
I'm calling my buddy, going, "Hey, is there bears in Indiana?"
Right.
Like literally, that was my only thought. Was like, and it moved off,
The
like
answer,
through the woods, down following the water.
The answer to that is I don't even think they have bears in the zoo.
And they're
Yeah, they
like,
do.
Indianapolis. They do?
Yeah.
and he was like, "No, we have. There's bears in southern Indiana,
Yeah.
like one
So
or
there's
two,
bears
and then
in
there's like
Indiana.
there's
Oh, okay.
in like northern, like
But they're
northern
smaller
Indiana.
bears.
Yeah, like little brown bears.
Yeah. They're still big enough to take your arm off.
Well, yeah. But,
Not my arm. Not my right arm. I work that thing out all the time.
so, So
Demonetized.
So I'm just sitting here, dumb, like, watch it walk off. I'm on the phone with him. He's like, take a picture. I was like, oh yeah.
I
like
can
he's
do
already
that.
gone.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, come pick me up. So I go pick him up. We drive right back to the location, park, and I get out and actually look where he was standing.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 foot just to the top of the road.
Yeah.
Like down to where next to the water.
Did you
Like,
see any footprints?
It was hard as a rock. Like it was like cold.
Oh, okay.
So like nothing. I didn't see any. And it was also like 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're like out there like with morons with like flashlights, and I'm driving the entire area with like this huge spotlight thing, and I'm like, we're going like all of the roads that we can get, and like spotlighting, like trying to get in there and see where. If there was anything in there and trying to do whatever, we spent like hours just driving and driving and driving.
That's crazy.
And like I said, and then 2 weeks later, there's this claim on
For the manor.
on the other side of town.
Right. And you said this was an Ellick, right?
Yeah, and it literally is the same waterway.
That the creature.
Well, I mean,
lived in.
it connects to the same waterway because this Lily Creek that comes off, and then like right over there is Pipe Creek, and you can take Pipe Creek up and follow it around the manor,
Right.
and stay out of town.
Shout out Pipe Creek Radio.
You know what I bet
they
it
don't
is?
exist no more.
You know what I bet it is? I bet it's the mayor. That's why he can hide it. He shuts everything down.
Scooby
So
Doo.
it's not a. So he's a werewolf.
Where?
There.
Werewolf?
All right. So
Their wolf. Their
all right.
castle.
So we have all of these crazy sightings of Bigfoot, werewolves, vampires, ghosts, ghouls, goblins, cryptids, aliens, UFOs, buzzing Navy ships in the open waters,
Shadowmen.
shadowmen,
I actually
all
had one
kinds
of,
of stuff.
a couple of years ago.
Just what I'm saying. Like I swear to God, it has been, and I don't know if it's just the advent of technology as it's progressed.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, as it's progressed, have we just become more aware of our surroundings because we're constantly on a film mode? I happen to think the doors of the paranormal got thrown open back in 2011. And that was Nelson Mandela's fault.
No, not really Nelson Mandela specifically.
No, I'm blaming him. I don't care if it's his fault or
that
not.
was the and I'm not.
I
I can't
blame
really.
CERN.
I can't. Yeah, I was gonna say the Super Hadron Collider in CERN. That was
Yeah.
the day that
Yeah,
they
that's the
actually
day
turned
that
it
actually-
on.
yeah.
And that brings us to our next topic, which is the Mandela Effect.
Sweet.
Which, honestly, I don't know if anybody. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who listen to this show know what that is, but I'm going to give you the definition.
Yeah, we're going to give you
of
the textbook definition.
Textbook definition, and then we'll discuss some of, not all, of the Mandela Effect.
Of which there is a bunch.
There are.
Yeah.
Collective memory is crazy.
Yeah, it's the Mandela Effect is an unusual phenomenon where a large group of people remember something differently than how it occurred. Conspiracy theorists, yeah,
That's us.
That's us, yeah. Believe this is proof of an alternate universe.
Yes.
While many doctors use it as an illustration of how imperfect memory can be sometimes. Now, the reason it was called the Mandela Effect is because initially people heard about Nelson Mandela being in prison.
Mm-hmm.
People heard and saw the funeral procession of Nelson Mandela
Yep.
after he died while in prison.
Yep. My grandmother, this is actually, this is how I know how messed up this is. So my grandmother, I asked her about Mandela Effect one time.
Sure.
And I said, it's this commonly held belief that Nelson Mandela died in prison. She goes, he did.
No.
I remember when it happened. And I was like,
Yeah, I remember.
he didn't die in prison.
Yeah,
He
I
died in
remember
2011. She goes,
yeah.
no, he didn't. And
Yes,
I mean,
he did.
she full on had,
She pulled
like,
up. You pulled up the article for her,
yeah,
didn't you?
she had full on meltdown. She was like, no, he died. Like, he died in like the 80s or something. And I was like, nope, very much alive. Or 98 or whatever it's supposed to be, 2008 or something.
I remember being a kid, and one of my favorite books was the Berenstein Bears.
Yep.
The Berenstein Bears.
Berenstein
okay?
Bears.
I don't even remember how it was spelled. Stein or IEN.
Yes.
But that's not how it is. It's actually Berenstain, and the family
Yep.
vehemently denies that it was ever Berenstain. It was always Berenstain. And the family itself is Berenstain, not Berenstein or Stein or whatever, however you wanted to pronounce it back then.
Which I had all of those books growing up, and you know what I can't find now?
Those books.
Well, I had it, but the ones that changed, like quite literally, like, I look at it and go, like, that's not what I remember.
And
absolutely.
The reason this is bizarre to me, especially the Berenstain Bears one, is the one that hit me really, really hard. That was the first book I ever memorized.
Yeah.
Because my mother would read me those stories. Yeah, that's right. My mom would read me those stories, and she'd tuck me in at night. She'd read me the story. And I always had a favorite book. And she always read me that story. And then one night, she comes into my room to check on me. Because apparently, I think I was 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. And I'm staring at the book, and I'm flipping through the pages, and I'm reading it out loud. And she's like, "Are you reading that book?" And she takes it away from me. And I just kept telling her verbatim what was in the book. I had heard it so many times that I'd memorized it. So Berenstain Bears was like really big deal for me. So that one shook me when I saw that. I was like, no, it's Stein. Nope.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another one that I actually didn't know about. I'm on a website called it's actually goodhousekeeping.com, but it's 40 what is it? 40 Mandela effect examples that will blow your mind.
Perfect.
You guys like peanut butter at all?
Yes. Jif?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not Jiffy. Most people remember it as Jiffy.
Jiffy peanut butter.
I remember Jiffy peanut
never
butter.
been Jiffy. It has, according to this, it says people swear there was a Jiffy peanut butter back in the day, but we speculate they're combining Jif with its competitor Skippy, which I've never even heard of.
I heard of Skippy peanut butter.
I haven't.
So we always got Jif peanut butter, and then for the longest time I hated crunchy peanut butter, and then I started getting crunchy peanut butter. I was like, oh my god, I get it now.
Cartoons? You like cartoons?
Love cartoons.
Looney Tunes.
Oh, this was another one that freaking messed me up, and I hate it.
Chris, remember, or Topher, remember.
Yeah.
How do you spell Looney Tunes? Just remember from your childhood. Remember from your childhood.
I honestly can't remember.
Okay. So
like Looney
Tunes.
Okay.
Tunes.
It is actually Looneytunes, not Toons.
Right.
Apparently, makes almost zero sense, but yes, the cartoon was spelled as Tunes. That one right there. Here it is. The Berenstain Bears didn't exist.
Yeah.
Berenstein is what you and I and you remember.
Right. Yes.
It is actually Berenstein.
Because we're anchored in the original timeline.
Right, exactly. Well, I don't even know if we're... Well, I guess we would be.
Well, I honestly think that's why the whole world's going to hell in a handbasket.
Absolutely. Let's see.
I have a theory that revolves around this that people had talked about. Like, after we get through these, like,
yes,
it's hilarious.
So, how many people actually remember Curious George hanging from a tree?
Yes.
With his tail?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Bullshit.
No, he never had a tail. Curious George never had a tail.
Hang on.
Let's see. What's next? Okay.
But no, so the you not only got that, but there was one. Let me see if I remember one. That we got the Shazam movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether or not Sinbad actually starred in his own.
Yeah. No, I remember
movie.
that one, and he did. He did star in a movie about a rapping genie, I believe. Oh, that's neat. No,
like he vehemently denies it ever happening, and nobody can ever come up with proof. With cracked, or it was either cracked or college humor.
Mm-hmm.
They came out and went and made a parody of of it to, since everybody, like every interview revolved around that, like it was brought up, every little thing that whatever, like that was always skin. He was irritated, so they finally put together like something that, and you can tell it was fake because they aged it, but he looks old.
There's a brother. There's a comedy duo of twin brothers, and that one of their comedy sketches, they're talking about how Michael Jordan sold Space Jam to Charles Barkley, and you know, I don't find them funny, but that's just me. Anyway, they're talking about how he called, Mike called Charles Barkley, and then Shaq. Oh no, Sinbad. Never mind. I'm thinking Shaq. Never mind. My bad. Rewind. Sorry. New universe. Go. Febreze.
Sorry. Conjuring a new universe to cover up a fuck up. It's the best ever. Sorry, that bomb at YouTube kissed my ass. I don't care. It was great.
Febreze. Spell Febreze.
Febreze, isn't it? Or is it EEZ? Yeah, BREEZE.
You might use the stuff every day, but be honest, you thought it was FEBREEZE, didn't you?
See, I don't remember it being either one.
It's FREB. It's actually FE.
Febreze.
It's FEBREZE. It's not Febreze. It's Febreze.
Febreze. Febreze. What was the one that got me?
Oscar Mayer Wiener. Spell the
MEYER.
My baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. My baloney has a second name. It's
MEYER.
MAYER.
It's MAYER. Yep. One of the most one of the most confounding of all. There's an A in Mayer. John Oscar Mayer. Sorry. Honest to goodness, we thought it was Meyer. MEYER. And that's how the song used to go. There's a baloney, or my baloney has a first name.
Oh,
it's
so
OSCAR.
I'm anchored to the original timeline.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Everybody
Well, we were agreeing, but like no, that's when you went ME, and we were like, nope, it's MA.
Okay.
Oh.
Here's one that it doesn't really matter, honestly, because nobody pays attention to how your shoe is spelled. Skechers. Like I don't know if anybody wears Skechers, but
Skechers it was SKETCHERS.
that is what people remember.
Yeah.
Less sketchy than most.
Yeah.
People have been befuddled to see that there's no T in Skechers. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember a T ever being in Skechers, but I don't remember there
Skechers.
not ever being a T in Skechers. So I never literally never paid
attention.
New universe.
New
go.
universe, go. Fruit Loops, spell it.
It's fruit. FRUIT. Right?
Spell loops.
LOOPS. Loops.
Right. Okay. FROOTLOOPS.
Was actually how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, because there's
A black screen?
yeah. New universe, go.
Universe, go.
No, it's because they did it that way because here.
Then how do they
I
have
don't
an
know if
image
you
of
can
Fruit
see
Loops
that.
with the UIT?
I don't know.
Photoshop.
I don't believe you.
Well, look. Here.
I actually think some of these companies went through branding.
And like rebranded and then
Well,
like deleted
you
everything
can,
off the
you
internet.
can tell the Curious George with the tail is
It's
photoshopped.
photoshopped, yeah.
But
Didn't he have a hat too?
no,
No,
that
that
was
was
the
Mr.
man
Hat.
with the yellow hat.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah, those.
Look,
But didn't he have a hat?
Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, no. See, that's that
Yeah,
one makes me mad.
and it's still written the
Okay,
same
so-
way.
All right.
Here's another one.
King Henry the 13th turkey leg. What?
I don't
Yeah,
oh, that's
no.
a picture, like whether he's standing in his picture with holding a turkey leg or not.
Monopoly Man and his monocle. Do you guys remember the
Yeah,
Monopoly
he had a
Man?
monocle.
Okay.
He 100% had a monocle. I don't care. I know the
know they
Mandela
say they
Effect says
don't.
that he doesn't, but he absolutely had a monocle.
Yeah, I absolutely remember.
You know
that.
what? You don't want to know how I know this? Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. Go back and watch Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, when he literally picks up that bald guy, throws him over his shoulder, and takes his monocle and goes, "It's like, do not pass go, do not collect." He's literally mimicking the monocle.
Yeah, but it was apparently
It's on TV. It's true.
And that's how Chris met his French model, Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Anyway, Planters Peanut Company mascot has the monocle, according to this.
Yes, he does.
And a top hat and cane.
A top hat and cane.
And a snazzy bow tie.
Yes. No, that was Mr. Twinkie. That was Twink.
Are you ready to just be done with this universe altogether?
Yeah, the black stripe on Pikachu.
Yep.
Yeah, done.
There is a black stripe on the tip of Pikachu's tail.
That is correct.
And they're telling me that there is not. It is.
That is also
straight
correct.
Yellow.
That is not correct.
The funny thing is you get upset about that one. The lion shall lay down with the lamb.
What?
Yeah, lion shall lay down with
Yeah, that's not in the Bible.
Oh.
I've read the Book of Revelation probably over 50 times. It's absolutely
No,
in
like
there.
and it was John something where it was talked about like
Oh yeah, the end of John, right?
Yeah. And it's not in. It's not that. It's not worded that way. It's not doesn't say anything like that. I went through when I found that one out. I went through all of my Bibles. I went through all of my stuff.
Well, it's just like the God helps those who help themselves.
Do you guys know what a cornucopia is?
Yes.
Okay. I did not until just now.
Yeah, it's the Fruit of the Loom logo. That's a cornucopia.
No, a cornucopia is the thing that the fruit is in.
Yes.
Yeah, the basket.
The basket. Yeah, that apparently, according to this, never existed in the Fruit of the Loom logo.
The bull crap. No, that I didn't know about that one. That's crap. No, there was always a cornucopia there.
Yep.
Yes.
It used to have a cornucopia behind the fruit, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Nope.
And then they
Not
changed the
according to this.
logo like very shortly before Michael Jordan started doing that because he did Fruit of the Looms for a while. So before he became their sponsor in like the 90s, they had changed the logo. I remember that because it was like the grapes and the
once they become like
stuff.
personified, like actual people, like anthropomorphized.
Mm-hmm.
No, I quit. I don't live on this planet anymore. Cornucopia's gone. I'm done.
No, but I was thinking like when they changed the Bible, like when that like the whole passages like I learned in Bible study and all of this other stuff, like
Well, here's a fun one I was taught in church. This was actually part of our standards, right? You're supposed to be clean shaven. Mm-hmm. So you're supposed to be clean. So the Bible tells you to be clean shaven.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's just not in there.
No.
There's zero passages regarding a clean shaven face. Now priests were regarded as having been clean shaven, but they were clean shaven, and they were also not supposed to wear any garment that exposed their mid thigh. So their man dresses they had to wear down to their ankles.
Okay, I got a new one for you.
Go ahead.
One. Flintstones.
What about the
Flintstone?
Yeah, it is actually spelled FLINTSTONES.
Yeah, that one.
I remember it being the FLINSTONE.
See, that one I don't remember being Flintstones. I remember it being Flint. I always remember being
I'm gonna show it to you. I would show
Let's
it
see
to
it.
you
Let's
guys,
show it.
but it's not gonna come out looking like anything. It looks wrong with that T.
It does actually look a little weird. I remember it being Flintstones because the T stood out to me. The two T's stood out to me on the Flintstones vitamins. I used to take the Flintstones vitamins when I was a kid, and that's I remember the two T's being on there. That's how I always knew when I looked at it. Because this is before I could spell. I would sneak up in the cabinet at my grandma's house, and I would eat just like candy.
Yeah, because they were like cherry and
cherry and grape and lime, and they were so good. Don't do drugs, kids. Just chew on multivitamins.
You guys, you're kind of an artist, aren't you, Chris?
I enjoy an artistic endeavor every now and then. Sure.
What about you, Topher?
in the past.
Okay. So you both understand color,
Yes.
correct? Okay. Chartreuse. What color is chartreuse?
It's like a peachy color. Pretty sure. Isn't it? Like, no, I don't think it's champagne, not chartreuse. It's like a green.
Like a greenish.
Yeah.
Like
It's actually a greenish.
It is actually green.
Yeah, it is actually a greenish color.
Okay. What was the perceived?
purplish, I think. Or like a
Most
mauve.
people recall chartreuse as a magenta pink color.
Oh.
Oh, here we go.
Only because I literally have been
But
just
I don't
dealing
think
with
I- yeah, I
color
don't- I
wheels
don't think I
like not
knew
too
it.
long ago.
In fairness,
Life is like a box of chocolates.
yes. You never know what you're going to get.
Is not what Forrest Gump actually said. If you listen closely, he said, life was like a box of chocolates.
Okay, that one's finicky.
Yeah.
I don't even like that. That one's not that's not Mandela. That's just finicky.
Right. What about the fact that James Earl Jones agrees that he says, Luke, I am your father.
Huh.
Even the voice of Vader says, he said, Luke, I am your father.
Mirror, mirror.
No copy
on
of Star
the
Wars.
wall.
Just real quick, no copy of Star Wars that I own, and I have the 77 VHS. I have the remake.
None of them say Luke, I am
None
your
of them
father.
say Luke, I am your father.
Right, but
And the book never said it either.
In fairness, James Earl Jones may have actually said that during a take
That's fair.
of that
but there's a
scene.
lot of people who still say, and that's been played up on a lot
Can we
of
get a
media.
Star Wars when you redo this video and we get everything like done and we're about to put it on YouTube? Can we get a Star Wars counter? Because I think that's like our 5th Star Wars reference.
It really
Can we put
is.
an SW counter just right above my head.
Well, actually, apparently,
Plus-
did you know that most people remember 3PO? I mean, you, me, and all three of us remember that 3PO has a silver leg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Throughout the entire series, pretty much.
Yes.
Unless it's like the newer ones where he has a red one.
Right.
Most people remember him being completely gold.
Yeah. Initially, no. For the longest time, I thought he was completely gold.
Yeah.
But again, part of that is that came out
It's
prior to my birth, so my remembrance of that is shaky at best.
sure, yeah, and that makes sense. And most people who actually got into Star Wars as a youngster. So you're not going to be paying that much attention to that.
But I do
much
remember him
detail.
having an all gold body. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Who's the fairest of them all?
Not what it says. Apparently, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. That was the line in Snow White. That wasn't the line in Snow White. In fact, the Wicked Queen says, "Magic mirror on the wall." No, she does not.
No, she doesn't. It was
She
mirror,
says,
mirror on the wall.
mirror on the wall. Who's
Mirror,
the fairest
mirror
of
on the wall.
Who's the fairest at the mall?
That's right.
Yeah,
Not you, you stuck up bit. Oh, what?
Tiffany. Tiffany's the fairest at the mall.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, there's the Luke, I'm your father reference.
Honestly, this was the one that cut deep. Perhaps the most famous movie line in history wasn't even said. All he really said was, "I am your father."
Search your feelings. You know it's true.
No, that's not possible.
Run.
I can quote that whole. I can quote it all. Don't get me started.
Let's get back into nerding. A little nerding, okay?
That's what Star Wars
Run,
is.
you fools!
Fly you.
Fly, you fools. Mm-hmm. It's fly. It has always been fly.
Hate to
Yeah.
burst your bubble, but this memorable line was never said by Gandalf before his treacherous fall. Okay. You can clearly hear him saying, "Fly, you fools."
Oh yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought you were saying that he didn't say fly, and I'm like, I just watched that not even a week ago, and it absolutely is
Fly
fly.
you fools. And
Fly,
then he
you
falls.
fools. Yeah. Then he's like, ah, because for some reason 9 grown men couldn't help him up off that ledge.
Right.
Hello, Clarice.
Yes.
We don't know what's scarier, the fact that we remember Hannibal Lecter saying, "Hello, Clarice," or the reality that all he said was, "Good morning."
No. No. He says hello, Clarice.
No, I
Hello,
went back after
Clarice.
we did an article in one of the previous magazines that we did, and we were talking about this stuff. And that one was I literally had to watch the movie 4 times. I was like, no, I missed it. Where's it at?
He says hello, Clarice.
He says,
Hello,
Good morning.
Clarice.
of the world.
Doesn't he say it at the very end where he calls her on the phone? Is that what it is?
No.
No, it was when he
says
shows
that
up
maybe in the
no.
later ones.
He shows up or she shows up in Lecter's prison, or at Lecter's prison, and hello, Clarice.
That's even referenced in other movies. Like,
Yes.
It is.
No, that's what makes it
referenced
funny.
in a lot of other movies, and I mean, honestly, think about that. I'm not going to say it like, "Hello, Clarice," if I'm not thinking of how that movie actually went.
Which is really messed up, by the way. If you guys have never seen Silence of the Lambs, go watch that beautiful, beautiful masterpiece of a movie. I love it.
I even enjoyed Red Dragon.
The Mandela Effect.
I liked all of them. I even kind of liked Hannibal.
The Mandela Effect is here to ruin that too. We all think of Freddie Mercury belting out "Of the World" at the end of "We Are the Champions."
Yeah, that one messed me up
But
too.
I always sing it.
never happened. However, Freddie does sing the words at the end of the song during the band's famous Wembley Stadium performance.
Okay, so
But never says "of the world" or sings "of the world," apparently, according to this.
on any studio publication.
Yeah.
So only live.
Yeah.
Which, in fairness, most of us
Remember the Wembley?
remember the Wembley because that was such a big deal.
Yeah.
So that's probably where that misremembrance comes from. So I don't know if that's more of...
Transference.
I think that's more transference than misremembrance.
Well, yeah. And this one right here is it's a Mr. Rogers.
No.
No.
Skip.
It's pedantic. it's
universe, go.
No. It's just being pedantic. Seriously, it's just, all it is just being pedantic. Okay.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Yeah. You might start singing the lyric, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor," especially with the upcoming Tom Hanks film. But even the movie markers got it wrong. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. So more pedantic.
Like I said, it's
Yeah.
pedantic,
Okay.
ultimately.
Pedantry?
No.
More pedanticness?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's words.
How many states are in the United States?
Wait, what?
How many states are in the United States?
50.
The Continental?
Yeah.
Continental?
Continental's 48.
Oh, the United States, period.
50.
Okay. Apparently, most Americans, or some Americans and foreigners alike, recall learning that there were 51 or 52. I actually recall.
I remember somebody saying 51. Yeah.
Them saying in school that it was 52. 52.
I don't remember. Unless you're
Because
including
they're
like Puerto
DC and
Rico.
Puerto Rico is what they were including.
Puerto Rico and Guam.
This is the one you and I were talking about. Sinbad never played a genie.
Yeah. I watched that movie.
Yeah, me
Right.
too.
Well,
This
I've also
one
seen
is
the college
perhaps-
humor.
Yeah, this one is perhaps the most bizarre of all. Several people can attest that they distinctly remember seeing the comedian in a movie called Shazam.
That's right.
Many argue they're confusing this memory with the movie Kazam
With Shaq.
starring Shaquille O'Neal as a genie, but who really knows? Now, and that's what we did while you were dealing with
stuff, right?
Whatever was happening. But he was talking about Sinbad, and for whatever the reason, my brain went Shaq. So because of the rapping genie thing.
Yeah. And the way I see this is how I remember
And
this happening.
if anybody's curious, I do not think that Shaq and Sinbad look alike.
No. Kazam. I remember Kazam because that's the one with Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
And I remember how terrible that was.
Yes, and so was Shazam.
And then there was Shazam, which
was
was
equally
a
as bad.
knockoff of Kazam. It was literally a knockoff. I remember it clearly because I watched both of them. And of the two, I remember liking Shazam more because
Now-
Sinbad was funnier.
Now, the great thing is, if you look up Shazam on like IMDb, the only thing that's going to come up is the Zachary Levi movie.
Yep.
Everything has been removed. Again, somebody messed up and said, new universe.
I'm telling you. And this, I actually feel like this is as I'm a firm believer in multiverse theory, and people can scoff at it all they want to.
Hey, Marvel and DC both made a lot of money off of that.
That's right. And long before those movies ever became concrete, I mean, the multiverse has always been a thing in comics
Right.
since just like the 80s. Probably before that. But I have always looked at like Dejavu as a collision of sorts.
Yes, absolutely.
So essentially, when in a universe of infinite possibilities and infinite use, the likelihood that you run across yourself convergent, like basically converging on a timeline
which
at the
is
exact
where
same moment.
deja vu happens.
That's deja vu. So you're basically seeing yourself. You're piercing the veil, so to speak. You're literally looking across to the other side and seeing.
Oh, yeah.
And remembering something that might have happened microseconds before you're actually at that point. And so what I did for the longest time when I had deja vu was I felt like when I was a kid, I would intentionally do something so bizarre. I really would. Because I would see myself doing a certain thing and I'm like, I remember doing this. I remember being here. And so I would like backflip off the couch and kick something over. Because I'm like, I'm not repeating whatever it was that I did. I'm not repeating it because I don't know if this is my brain trying to tell me, hey, you need to change your course of action. I don't know what it is. So I would do random shit. I would yell and scream in the middle of a store. My mom would be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I've been here before.
There's a story behind that.
There really
One day
is.
we will tell you. But just stay tuned.
So multiverse, man, telling you. It's
Well, I've
legit.
actually been. I went over to a friend's house. I'd never been to that house before. They drove me over there. I recognized the house, and I distinctly remember being in that house, but I had never been to that house before. And I looked at them. I apparently I looked terrified, and they were like, "What's up?" And I told them, I asked them, "Hey, does your floor plan look like this?" And I described their entire floor plan, and they were like, "Dude, how did you know that?"
You had a better control of your deja vu than I do.
Apparently. No, only in certain cases. I don't remember what happened in that house. I don't remember anything. I just remember the floor plan. I remember
what it looked
the
like.
floor plan.
Yeah.
And I'd never been in that house before.
It's super
in my
bizarre.
life.
Like deja vu is some of the scariest feeling that you can have.
Maybe it's because my other alt universe selves are going and killing my other alt universe selves,
Like
and
the
I'm
one?
becoming the one.
Perfect.
In fact, that's who he shooed away from the door.
Hey, Topher. Topher.
What?
Only you can prevent forest fires. Who said that?
Smokey
Smokey
Bear.
the Bear.
No, he didn't. Because that bear's name was not Smokey. Yep,
Next.
that's
Is
his
his name
name.
like John
Contrary to
Paul?
popular belief, his
Peter?
name isn't Smokey the Bear. It's just Smokey Bear.
Oh, we're talking more semantics.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to say, like, his name
John.
was Smokey, and I was like,
His name was John Bear.
Next, you'll be telling me that the Native American crying wasn't real either. That never happened. By the way, that actually somebody posted a video of that, of the original, and there's no tear.
Tiananmen Square.
He got run over.
In perhaps the
Yes.
most memorable moment during the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests, whatever. Recollections of the event vary. Some say the unidentified man known as Tank Man was run over and killed, but other videos show him moving away from the scene. Now, in fairness to this one, most of those videos were shot in
China.
which is a
What, dictatorship?
yes, communist state dictatorship.
A
whatever.
dictatorship.
So, how hard is it to
Manipulate the video.
CG someone moving away from tanks and not getting run over?
Well, I
I have a story about
I question the legitimacy of the video to begin with because we're talking about 1980. I mean, yeah, it's a big deal. Guys protesting. That's going to make news. But unless it's from, and even then, I still don't trust half the news sites around here because I'm.
So with that one though, I literally, when I was younger, there was a National Geographic quiz thing that was like a national thing.
Yeah.
And each school participated, and I won out of my school to go to the state level on the question about Tiananmen Square because nobody else had watched the thing. That got me like a book and whatever, and like some money or whatever it was, and I got to go sit out of class and take a test or whatever to see if I would pass through from state to national level.
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say I got to sit in Tiananmen Square and watch tanks come at me.
So no, but like when it comes to like questions about that, like that literally won me like an award.
Don't get me wrong. I'm reading from this website,
and I remember I'm saying like he's like no, he didn't, and I was like no, like that literally.
I actually remember. I actually remember that he got run over by the tanks. I do, however, also remember that the majority of the videos out there, you never actually really saw what happened. You just hear that he got run over by tanks in the videos.
Right. But that's what I'm remembering too, because I'm like, I don't remember seeing him get run over, but I definitely didn't see him run away.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
So, I got one last one.
I thought he got arrested.
Don was actually there in Tiananmen Square when it happened.
I have one last one for you, and it can actually kind of segue into our next topic.
All right.
One small step for mankind, or what is it? What's the term? What's the phrase?
One small step
for man, one giant leap for mankind. Yes, Neil Armstrong, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's actually right. So, did you know he passed away in 2016?
I didn't realize it was 2016. I knew he had passed away, but
Neil Armstrong, I thought.
Buzz Aldrin?
did.
No, Buzz Aldrin is still alive.
That's right. Yeah, Buzz is the only one that's left
Oddly enough, people had.
well, no, there's a couple others that are left.
I'm sorry, 2012.
from the lunar landing. It's Buzz.
2012. Oddly enough, people had no recollection of the aeronautic legend's death. Many fans apparently forgot or didn't notice the news of his passing in August 2012. Yeah, Buzz Aldrin was actually on the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
A couple of times, I believe. So.
And like I couldn't remember which one would actually punch people when they would talk about like
Buzz Aldrin.
It was Buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the one that stuck out.
Yeah,
Like,
Neil Armstrong didn't talk about anything that happened on the moon.
No.
Ever.
There was one thing that was talked about, like he would say that there was one thing that said that he saw something.
And
then he shut up and never talked about it ever again.
And there was a third astronaut, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Does that person have a name?
I mean, he does, but if you're asking me to remember it, I don't.
Okay.
I remember Buzz Aldrin was in the capsule, and Neil Armstrong stepped out, and then Buzz followed him.
Yeah, actually, there apparently there is a an audio track of Buzz Aldrin, I believe it is, looking out of the capsule and going, "Oh my God, they're huge, and they're surrounding us."
It was Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and then it says
The pilot, the
And
one
Pete
that
one other
Conrad.
person.
Pete Conrad,
Pete
that's it.
Conrad.
and Alan Bean.
Oh, they're Bean.
Yeah, I don't know if that was.
they're the ones that were flying the shuttle.
So Pete Conrad and Mr. Bean. Got it. I'm sorry.
Commander Bean.
I do apologize. That was very uncalled for, and they're great people.
I mean, it's fine.
But I mean, and you.
I was military. I can make fun of them. It's fine.
I was not, so I can't.
Space Force.
So. But
If I was able to sign up, I'd sign up for Space Force.
Right?
you
Dope.
before, as we were talking about this topic, you were like, the floodgates opened. It's just chaos.
It's
out
pandemonium.
there. Yeah, mass hysteria.
Dogs and cats living together.
Sorry, Ghostbusters.
I'm
reference.
super excited for that movie to come out. By the way, but
Oh, yeah,
we're
me
not gonna get into it. But
July 8th, bro.
I know I'm stoked.
Guess whose birthday that is?
God, I feel like it's somebody in this room.
It's not.
It's the cat.
Yeah, it is the cat. No, it's the dog that's living with the cat.
Mass hysteria.
It's got
So speaking of Space Force. According to the New York Post, so some fun facts of the day. According to the New York Post, over 130 U.S. personnel have been injured in what's known as directed energy attacks, known as the Havana Syndrome. So according to this article, at least 130 U.S. personnel, including spies, which, if they know they're spy, you're a terrible one, diplomats and soldiers have suffered brain damage, or if you're Archer, what's the point of being one if you don't tell people you are, or other significant injuries as a result of suspected, quote, directed energy attacks, according to a report.
Are they American spies in other countries, or because if they are, then they would know that they're spies?
So the number, which was reported by originally the New York Times Wednesday. Let me see. This was released on the 13th.
Maybe they were spies for the New York Times.
So this would have been whatever. This would have been the 11th, I guess, May 11th. This number is reported by the New York Times on Wednesdays more than double than the 60 confirmed cases that were previously known, and does not include the total number of injured. So the cases were originally believed to have occurred in China and Cuba, but the new total adds occurrences in Europe and elsewhere in Asia. This is, of course, significant news because that means at least a foreign power, specifically probably one that is in direct competition with the United States, is in possession of a energy weapon such as a laser, microwave, or particle beam. And they are able to direct those specifically at individual targets. Now,
Well, I mean, you can direct a microwave dish,
yeah, but
and point them at people.
they are apparently being bombarded at such a rate from something that they're not aware of.
And you said that this is from an attack from the USSR, right?
No, that is not confirmed.
Okay.
That is not confirmed. There's a suspicion, but that's kind of running away with it. This could be from Russia. This could be from China. This could be from Cuba.
Yeah,
You know-
because it happened in Havana.
Right.
Unless
That
we've-
was a previously controlled territory by the USSR. So
unless we,
that's where that report comes from. Sorry.
unless we've slid like like they did in Sliders. Not talking about the White Castles, but the show.
They both slide.
Yeah, they do. Within the last 5-10 minutes, the USSR doesn't exist.
That's true.
Does it now?
No.
No.
That
We
still doesn't
haven't-
exist.
We haven't. We haven't moved.
We haven't hit that
No.
universe yet. Okay.
No, we're still good. Still good. Have not.
The
New
song is
universe,
in my
go.
head.
All right, there it is.
The song is in my head now.
Something.
Back in the
USSR. Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna. What was that movie? Go or Wolverines? What was that movie?
Wolverine. No. The
And they remade
Red
it.
Dawn.
Yeah, Red Dawn. It's gonna be another Red Dawn.
So a Politico report earlier that week had alleged that U.S. officials suspect Russia's top foreign intelligence agency of being behind the suspected attacks against American government personnel. Speaking to an outlet on that Monday, 3 current and former officials said that the U.S. suspected the GRU was behind the attacks, but did not yet have a smoking gun to prove it.
No, it
So,
was
GRU,
It's
sorry.
not the GRU. It's GRU from
Grew
Despicable
from
Me.
Despicable Me.
So basically, what you're telling me is, according to other news outlets out there that tell the truth, it was Europe that clearly made this and sold it to Japan, who gave Russia the right materials to give to China so they could do this.
GRU is the GRU is the intelligence agency for Russia.
Right.
Okay.
Just for anybody's knowledge out there, just for anybody's curiosity out there. But
Sorry, I had to
Pentagon
make that as
officials have briefed
ridiculous.
lawmakers with necessary security clearances of the suspected attacks at the time reported to be against U.S. troops and also government employees. Apparently included intelligence about injuries to U.S. troops in Syria. Specifically, I guess, one incident that had occurred in the war-torn country in the fall of 2020. So this had been going on since at least the fall. There have been multiple attacks. Now, I had spoken briefly to T about this before the show.
I actually remember hearing something about this. I don't remember anything about what I heard. I
Like
just do
major
remember,
headaches and people puking and like literally having being sent home.
bloody noses and ears, blood coming out of their ears, and severe brain damage.
So typically, like you said, that you can direct a microwave dish.
Sure.
Now that's those devices are huge. They're not small. So apparently they have figured out a way to either launch them into orbit and direct the attack from space, which is entirely possible.
Bigger swath, that would hit a lot of.
And that's where I'm at too. So it would be
Now, if it's a battlefield situation, I could see that happening.
I actually, I remember what I heard about this.
what's that?
It was somebody that I know of that's a little further out there than some of the things that we say. 5G.
Oh, it's the 5G towers.
No. It's just the 5G.
Oh, 5G.
It has nothing to do with the towers. This is the 5G.
Is
it's
the
like
G short for GRU?
Yeah. It's like
5GRU.
Yeah, the 5GRU. It's like this man injected one pot or one marijuana. Ruined his life forever. So,
well, the thing about it is like so the U.S. military we've had access to microwave energy for quite a while.
Yeah,
and so other countries having it is not really that surprising. But if they are in fact directing these energy attacks at U.S. officials, that is a big deal.
Like 90% of your communications between ships on the Navy.
Yeah,
is like microwave.
Right.
Yeah, they're carried through microwaves. Yeah,
right. And let's not mention the rail gun that the U.S. military doesn't have.
That's actually a show idea all by itself that I would love to.
They say
do,
they don't have it, but they literally have
cool.
pictures of it on board ships.
I know. And
funny story about that. Something along the lines of military intelligence on that. Being on a base with stealth bombers on the flight line, driving by and being able to see it from the town that's right there.
And they're telling you that they
are not there.
Yeah.
If anybody asks, they are not on base. I can stand on the end of the flight line and take pictures of them from off base.
Until the dude in black comes and grabs your phone and smashes it.
Well, no, because 90% of the time those guys are playing football on the flight line and actually hitting the planes with the football by accident.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair.
But my issue
I'm not saying that happened, but hypothetically.
Okay, go, talk.
It didn't actually happen. So
anyway, so what I was going to say.
I love this place. I love you all, but you're terrible. So what I was going to say, since we were talking about microwaves, is there's only one thing that a microwave should be for, and that's to nuke my chicky nuggies. That's the only joke I was trying to get out.
Dude.
No, chicky nuggies, the end.
That's not even fair.
No, they're usually crispy, not fair.
No. What about my pizza rolls?
Okay. Chicky nuggies, pizza rolls, Hot Pockets?
Hot lava, yes.
Hot lava.
Hot lava.
That is the only thing that microwave should be used for, and shame on you, Russia, or whoever.
Maybe they were just trying to cook Hot Pockets from a distance.
Well, that was what I was going to say. According to the report, the Hot Pockets that they were keeping were a nice warm temperature, and they managed to not be lava. So that's actually a good thing.
Actually, no. I'm actually really happy that we've decided to talk about that.
What, Hot Pockets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I just realized something.
Yes.
It is the perfect design for food.
Yes.
No, I'm going to explain why. No. I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
You throw it in the microwave, you cook it for the time that's allotted, and
8
you're
minutes.
like, yeah, whatever. 8.5 years, gotcha. You take it out, you bite into it, and you're that tongue is on fire.
Yes.
So you literally can't taste anything ever again.
Right.
Until you get to the center. The ice center.
The ice cube.
Where it heals you.
It cools your burning tongue.
It's literally the water from Avatar.
The terrible movie.
No, The Last Airbender. Sorry.
Okay.
Which is also a terrible movie, but I love the series.
Shame on you, M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Shamalama Ding Dong. Yeah,
but
when you have a beloved cartoon, don't put a twist on it.
but yeah, so the microwaves, as I said, have been injuring U.S. personnel. But the conversation that T and I had been having about it was because we also have the technology. She was like, "Well, I mean," she's like, "We're probably doing it to them too." I'm like, "Well, that's also accurate." But we had talked about that in a previous show where when your adversaries are developing weapons at a far more rapid rate or at the same rate as you tend to overcompensate and try to come up with some bizarro world thing.
Absolutely.
It's like, hey, I got an idea. How about Space Force and microwave lasers?
Like a super hadron collider and sending us to different dimensions.
Ding! New
Full
universe
circle.
go.
Yeah. So,
Oh my God!
no, you know what I took?
It's
you
the
know what?
microwave ding that causes the new universe to be created.
That was terrible. Anyway, so what I got, my takeaway from that story is you and I used to work together, and I used to come over to your house and wake you up at butt o'clock in the morning.
Because somebody decided 6 a.m. was the perfect time for training.
I thought it was 5:30.
Oh, no, you're right. No,
It's
that's what
Mandela.
Yeah. And that you still talk to T more than you ever talk to me.
That's incorrect.
That is pretty much true.
Nope.
Yeah, because you said, well, I've been talking to T.
No. I said I've talked to T.
Yeah, you
about
barely
this.
talk to me. Like, I see you twice or once every other week.
Listen, who's on the show, buddy? So that's our show tonight, everyone. Ding! Universe.
Lovers spat.
No, but before
Ding the
we
universe.
leave,
Oh, no, we're not leaving. Go ahead.
okay,
We're not leaving. We're staying forever. You must watch forever.
the C or
Hypnotoad.
the CERN collider theory
collider.
or whatever. One of the theories that I loved about that was that there was a cabal of scientists. And anytime you have a cabal of anything, that you already
It's
have
just
my
vast.
attention.
So beautiful. Keep going. This
yes.
story's already Lovecraftian.
There's a cabal of scientists who had found out that something was going to happen at a certain time, and we're going back and making changes using the CERN collider to avoid this thing that happened.
So basically, it's an entire butterfly effect deal.
And that they have gotten to the point that they've made so many changes, and the things have started changing in their recollections that they don't remember
What they were trying to change.
So now that they're making changes to correct their changes, and it's slowly spiraling out and
Just
becoming
make it stop. Just stop them.
right.
Just
but
go back to when you first started it and be
I'm-
like, hey, don't.
Don't. Yeah. Just don't.
that is
no,
that is
but
my
that's a change.
favorite.
That's a big change.
But
right
that is my favorite theory out
I
there
like that,
about
the
this
secret
CERN.
and
cabal.
that's
Perfect.
fair. That's fair. But I'm letting you know, if I wake up at any given point in time this week, this month, this year, or at all for the rest of my life, and I'm not in a hospital room or whatever, and I wake up and I don't have legs, and I have to, navigate my stairs in a wheelchair, I'm calling one of you guys. We're going to wherever this cabal is, and I'm killing every last one of them.
But see, the thing is, you wouldn't remember it because it would just kind of wash over.
Yes, no, that you're
One of
you're
us
at-
would.
you
One of
are-
us is anchored in
No, no,
reality.
you are absolutely right. I wouldn't remember it. Like the Berenstein Bears.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up our show. Now, speaking of secret cabals, there's a secret cabal on YouTube right now that is trying to shun these videos from your viewership, and we want to stop that. In order to do that, we started our own website on geekpublicradio.com, where we have a membership section that guarantees your access to these videos anytime, anywhere that you want to watch them. So you don't have to rely on YouTube or the stupid algorithm to be tuned in to the content that you love and enjoy. So, if you wish, please drop a like and subscribe. If you don't, I'm going to go back in time using the CERN Collider and hit like and subscribe for you. No, I can't do that. Can we use a second take? Hold on. Ding!
New
So,
universe.
drop a like and subscribe. But no, seriously, guys, drop a like and subscribe so that way you will be alerted.
Yeah, it literally doesn't cost you
Yeah, hit
anything
the little alert
to
bell.
like and subscribe.
Yep, cost you nothing, and it actually does help the YouTube algorithm bump us up to the top so more people see our content and more people become members. If you feel up to it, share us out. We appreciate that too. But check us out on geekpublicradio.com. There's more content there. We have cut content, things that we can't show on YouTube because
Which is where you can actually donate, or what is it? No, subscription.
You can
Subscribe.
Subscribe. That's the word I was looking for.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. We covered a lot of stuff tonight, but we will see you guys in just a couple of weeks. Make sure you tune in this coming Wednesday to geekpublicradio.com. So that way, that would be Wednesday, the second or something like that, or the first, whatever day it is. Wednesday. So that way you guys can be tuned in to the True Crime Podcast, and we call it Criminal Fix with Jassel. And you guys get a new episode of that.
Just curious. What do you call a plug at the end of the show?
A rear plug?
No, it's a butt plug.
But again, guys, thank you so very much. We got new content coming your way all the time. We are working to improve the experience for you. So, from Alexandria, Indiana, which is not where we're at. Take two. From Anderson, Indiana, in the
Ding
historic
the universe.
Ding the universe in the historic Union Building downtown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We always appreciate it. Stay crazy, my friends.
We love you. You are perfect.